How did you come up with your protocols for safety?
Well, an important tradition on our farm, we participate in a program called New York State Grown and Certified. And New
Okay.
York State Grown and Certified asks us to open our farm to a state veterinarian. And a lot of farmers who are afraid of Big Brother may not like the idea of that, but we happen to have, I don't like to use the term awesome freely because I feel it must be reserved for things that are truly awesome.
Mhm.
And we happen to have an awesome state veterinarian. And he comes onto the farm, he inspects the pigs, he looks at the sheep, we go over all the different things we're doing. We save up our lists of questions over the course of a year of things we're seeing. And he's on the farm once or twice a year. We make a big pot of coffee, and all of us, it's like, gather round, he's coming. Let's sit beside the fire and talk. But my daughters, they're 18 and 21, they come loaded with questions. My father comes loaded with questions. My husband and I come, and have built a real relationship of trust with this man. His name is Dr. Robert Scrafford. And we count on him to find out where things are going and what's happening. And Dr. Scrafford has been working with us for years as because bird flu, we think it's hot this year. I'm sorry, it's not. In fact, they think the pandemic of 1918, was that the Spanish flu? I think that might have come from bird flu as well. It's been around for a long time. This is not new. But as Dr. Scrafford has been educating us over the years, it is cyclical, but the cycles are getting shorter and shorter. And so that's where my information is coming
Okay.
from. And what he taught me back in 2022. So as you know, Danny, we as my parents aged, we decided to not have on-farm sale days like you used to come to anymore. We opened up a cafe 2.5 miles down the road to meet people. And that became very important during the pandemic because it kept our social life going, it kept our business going, but it also protected my parents who were still living on the farm. But we always used to offer farm tours and still let people come. But after talking, the last big outbreak that in my memory happened, or the first big outbreak that I really remember being active on Sapbush Hollow was in 2015. And at that time, I wanna say it was maybe a 15, 20-year cycle before you would see avian flu be a problem again. And that's when my mom would say to me, "You don't leave your shit on anyone else's farm." And she really started changing protocols and teaching us about what we have to do to protect. And back in those days, it was like, you have farm boots. Those are boots that stay on the farm, and that was how mom thought of it. And you don't wear farm boots to visit another farm. You don't wear farm boots to go to town. So you keep those for there, you show up on the farm, you change into those. And that is where the meaning you don't leave your shit on anyone else's farm came from. But what happened in 2015, we started learning this. I thought I wasn't gonna see avian flu for another 15, 20 years. That's not what happened. It reared its head again in 2022. And Dr. Scrafford said to me, "You know what's happening, though?" He said, "It's not dying out in the same way." So it should die down, and it does die down. People can expect some relief when the weather starts to get hot. But when Dr. Scrafford said we're starting to see the cycles get shorter and shorter,